Something shocking happens at the end of episode 6 that leaves everyone questioning what really happened. The last few minutes are filled with secrets, hidden clues, and choices that change everything for the characters. But if you thought it was just drama, you're missing the hidden messages that the creators cleverly placed throughout the episode. In this video, we're going to break it all down, scene by scene, revealing what really happened, why it matters, and what it could mean for the next episodes. Get ready, because this ending has layers you may not have noticed, and by the time we're done, everything will make sense. Episode 6 begins with a tense atmosphere that immediately pulls you into the story. The episode starts with the main character struggling with decisions that could change her life forever, facing challenges from every side. From the first scene, you can see how the tension has built over the previous episodes, with every interaction and choice feeling heavier than before. The relationships between characters are more complex now, and old rivalries start to resurface in ways that nobody expected. There is a clear focus on the main conflict, and it is mixed with personal struggles that give the story depth. By the middle of the episode, the pace starts to increase as small secrets start coming out, revealing truths that were hidden in plain sight. Every dialogue feels important because it carries double meanings, giving the audience hints about what is coming next. Characters who seemed minor before now have critical roles, and even small actions begin to ripple through the story, creating tension and suspense. One of the most crucial events in episode 6 is the confrontation between two characters whose relationship has always been complicated. The scene is full of tension as the conversation is layered with unspoken emotions and intentions. As the dialogue unfolds, viewers can start to notice subtle clues about each character's true motives. The use of camera angles, the way characters glance at each other, and the pacing of their speech all add meaning that isn't immediately obvious. This confrontation is a turning point, as it sets up the decisions that will define the ending of the episode. By observing these small details, attentive viewers can predict some of the outcomes. The full impact only becomes clear at the very end. Another important thread in the episode is the exploration and of the main character's internal conflict. Throughout the episode, there are moments where she is faced with moral dilemmas that test her loyalty, patience, and sense of justice. These scenes are paired with visual storytelling that reinforces her emotional state, sometimes a lingering shot on her eyes, sometimes the subtle use of shadows and light to reflect confusion or fear. The soundtrack also plays a key role in building tension and signaling shifts in tone, using quiet, suspenseful music in moments of hesitation and louder, dramatic beats during confrontations. This careful combination of visuals and audio ensures that the audience feels every emotional beat, making the ending even more impactful. The episode also builds suspense through small, seemingly insignificant details that later become key to understanding the ending. Objects, background actions, and lines of dialogue that appear ordinary at first glance actually hint at larger developments. For example, a character picking up an item without explanation, or a brief glance between two characters, carries meaning that foreshadows the episode's climax. This technique keeps viewers engaged and encourages multiple viewings to catch all the hidden elements. As episode 6 progresses, the tension steadily rises, leading to the final act where all these threads converge. The stakes are higher than ever, and the audience is kept on edge, wondering how every decision will affect the outcome. The final moments of the episode before the ending scene are charged with suspense and anticipation. Relationships, secrets, and motivations collide, setting the stage for the shocking conclusion. Viewers can feel the weight of every choice as the characters move closer to the point where everything changes. By the time the ending begins, the groundwork has been carefully laid, with every line, glance, and action preparing the audience for a reveal that is both surprising and meaningful. This careful build-up is what makes episode 6's ending so memorable and explains why fans are eager to dissect every detail. even though this section is just a recap. Noticing the connections between these key events allows viewers to fully appreciate the complexity and depth of the episode. The ending of episode 6 is intense, layered, and full of hidden meaning that many viewers might miss at first glance. It starts quietly, almost deceptively calm, with the main character standing alone in a dimly lit room, the tension visible in every movement and expression. Every detail in this sequence seems to liberate the flickering light, the shadows on the walls, and even the positioning of objects in the room all contribute to the feeling that something major is about to happen. At this moment, the story shifts from the chaos of earlier events to a focus on choices and consequences. The subtle body language of the characters shows the fear, determination, or hesitation behind each decision. One of the most striking elements is the way the camera lingers on small, seemingly insignificant actions, like a hand brushing over a letter or a pause before responding. These details signal that something is about to change and encourage viewers to pay close attention because every small action carries meaning. The climax builds as characters converge, each bringing their personal stakes into the final moments. The tension is almost unbearable because the audience can sense that every choice made throughout the episode is about to collide. Relationships that were strained or hidden secrets that were carefully concealed now emerge in subtle ways, forcing the audience to reconsider what they thought they knew. There is a pivotal confrontation where emotions run high, and dialogue is carefully crafted to reveal inner conflicts without explicitly stating them. A line of dialogue that seems simple at first is layered with double meanings and foreshadowing. At the same time, a background event, a passing figure, a sound, or a movement creates suspense, hinting at a twist that only becomes clear in hindsight. The creators intentionally use pacing here, allowing moments to breathe and giving viewers just enough time to notice subtle cues while keeping the overall tension high. Another remarkable aspect of the ending is how visual symbolism is used to communicate the characters' inner journeys. For example, a recurring object or a color motif may appear at critical moments, representing hidden feelings or foreshadowing future events. Shadows often fall across faces in ways that suggest internal conflict, while certain gestures, like looking away or clutching an object tightly, indicate fear, guilt, or resolve. These nonverbal cues add depth to the scene, making it more than just a simple confrontation. They show that the ending is not only about external events, but also about the psychological and emotional states of the characters. Even viewers who focus only on dialogue might miss these subtleties, which is why multiple viewings can reveal new layers each time. Finally, the ending scene masterfully balances suspense with revelation, giving just enough information to shock viewers while leaving questions that keep them thinking long after the episode ends. A key twist emerges that changes how the audience perceives certain characters, their motivations, and the events leading up to this point. The way the sequence concludes, often with a lingering shot, a sudden action, or a meaningful look, serves both as a climax and a setup for future episodes. It is a clever mixture of resolution and anticipation, satisfying enough to feel complete while still sparking curiosity about what comes next. Every line, gesture, and visual cue has been placed deliberately, rewarding attentive viewers who notice the connections and hints woven throughout the episode. By examining the ending scene closely, it becomes clear that episode 6 is a turning point not only in the story but in the way characters will evolve moving forward. The combination of suspense, emotion, and layered storytelling makes this ending unforgettable, leaving fans eager to uncover even more hidden details in future episodes. Episode 6 is packed with hidden details and Easter eggs that many viewers might miss on their first watch, but these small elements add layers to the story and make the ending even more meaningful. One of the most interesting aspects is the use of objects in the background, which often seem ordinary at first, but actually hint at character intentions or upcoming plot twists. For example, a photograph on a shelf, a partially visible letter, or even a clock showing a specific time can symbolize relationships, past events, or foreshadow key moments. The creators intentionally place these objects in plain sight, rewarding viewers who pay close attention with subtle insights that enrich the story, even small movements, like a character hesitating before picking up an item or glancing at a particular object, carry hidden meaning. These actions often reveal inner conflict or highlight decisions that will have major consequences later, showing that episode 6 is meticulously crafted to build suspense and depth. Another layer of hidden meaning comes from the way certain lines of dialogue are written and delivered. At first, some lines seem casual or unimportant, but when viewed in context with the ending, they reveal foreshadowing and deeper character intentions. A character might make a simple statement, yet the choice of words, the timing, visual cues also play a huge role in these hidden details. Colors, lighting, and camera angles are used deliberately to communicate mood and hint at symbolism. For instance, a recurring color might be associated with a character's emotions, like red for anger or danger, blue for sadness or secrecy, and green for envy or hidden agendas. Lighting can emphasize certain actions or create dramatic shadows that suggest tension, deception, or uncertainty. Camera angles, like a slow zoom on a character's face or a tilted perspective, can subtly indicate unease or foreshadow that something is not as it seems. Even the placement of characters in a frame can reveal relationships or power dynamics, with subtle shifts in position indicating alliances, conflicts, or changes in hierarchy. Paying attention to these visual details gives viewers a richer understanding of the story and makes the ending far more impactful. Finally, there are small, almost imperceptible hints throughout episode 6 that tie directly to future events or upcoming episodes. These include brief flashes of symbolic imagery, fleeting background actions, or side comments that seem trivial but later become significant. For example, a passing object, a shadow in the corner of a room, or a sudden sound can foreshadow plot twists or indicate hidden connections between characters. The use of such Easter eggs demonstrates the creator's careful planning and rewards observant fans with a sense of discovery. It also encourages rewatching the episode, as viewers can notice new details each time, deepening their understanding of the narrative. By examining these hidden elements, it becomes clear that the ending of episode 6 is not just dramatic for the sake of shock. It is the result of carefully placed storytelling devices that enhance character development, foreshadow future events, and enrich the overall viewing experience. These details make episode 6 one of the most engaging episodes so far, keeping fans excited to uncover even more secrets in the next episodes. Episode 6 leaves so many questions open that it naturally sparks discussion and fan theories. And looking closely at the ending allows us to explore several possible interpretations that make the story even more intriguing. One major point of debate revolves around the motivations of the main character in the final moments. Some viewers argue that her actions reflect a carefully calculated plan, suggesting she anticipated the events unfolding around her and used them to her advantage. Others believe that her decisions were driven purely by emotion, pointing to subtle hesitations and visible doubt in her expressions. Both interpretations hold weight because the creators intentionally balance logic and emotion in her choices, leaving room for viewers to analyze the complexity of her character. This duality makes the ending more compelling, as it allows different perspectives to coexist, encouraging audiences to debate what truly drove her actions and what her next moves might be. Another significant theory focuses on the secondary characters and their hidden agendas. Throughout the episode, there are moments where minor actions, offhand comments, or even silence suggest deeper motives that aren't fully revealed on screen. Some fans propose that these characters were subtly manipulating events behind the scenes, influencing outcomes without drawing attention to themselves. Evidence for this includes fleeting glances, cryptic statements, or objects placed strategically in the background. By considering these details, viewers can construct a theory that certain characters are more integral to the plot than they initially appear, hinting at future alliances or conflicts that may reshape the story in upcoming episodes. This interpretation emphasizes that Episode 6 is designed not just for immediate drama but as a puzzle that rewards careful observation and speculation. Symbolism and visual cues also feed into fan interpretations. Some theorists believe that repeated motifs in the episode like mirrors, shadows, or recurring objects carry a symbolic meaning tied to character growth or the broader themes of the show. For example, a mirror might represent self-reflection, deception, or duality, while a recurring object could symbolize a choice or consequence that connects multiple characters. By examining these symbols, fans can generate theories about who will succeed, who will face challenges, and how the overarching story might evolve. Even the placement of characters in certain shots, the direction of lighting, or the use of contrasting colors can suggest power shifts, hidden truths, or foreshadowed betrayals, all of which fuel speculation and interpretation. The creators leave these subtle clues intentionally, allowing each viewer to form their own conclusions about what the ending truly signifies. Finally, Episode 6's ending invites broader interpretations about the story's direction and potential themes. Some theorists suggest that the conclusion is a turning point, hinting at a larger narrative about trust, morality, or survival. Where characters' decisions in this episode will ripple through future events, others argue that the ending is deliberately ambiguous to reflect real-life complexity, showing that not every action has a clear consequence and that uncertainty is a part of the human experience. This ambiguity encourages viewers to think critically about the narrative, consider multiple possibilities, and discuss theories with other fans. It also demonstrates the depth of storytelling in the series, where a single episode can be dissected for layers of meaning, character insight, and thematic relevance. By analyzing Episode 6 in this way, viewers gain a richer understanding of the story, appreciating not only what happened, but why it happened and what it might mean going forward. The combination of character ambiguity, subtle visual cues, and carefully placed foreshadowing makes fan theories an essential part of engaging with the series, turning each episode into a puzzle that sparks curiosity, debate, and excitement for what comes next. Episode 6 leaves viewers with a mix of satisfaction and curiosity, tying together long-running storylines while opening the door for future developments. The ending is a perfect combination of closure and suspense, resolving certain conflicts while keeping others intentionally ambiguous. Characters' actions throughout the episode reach a peak, showing growth, vulnerability, and sometimes betrayal, which makes the stakes feel real and emotionally charged. The way each character responds to challenges provides insight into their personalities and motivations, allowing the audience to reflect on their journey and understand why the episode feels so impactful. Even small gestures and moments, like a glance or a pause before speaking, contribute to the depth of the story, emphasizing that every choice matters and can have far-reaching consequences. This careful attention to detail ensures that the ending is memorable and thought-provoking, encouraging viewers to think critically about the narrative and the decisions characters make. One of the most significant aspects of the conclusion is the balance between revealed truths and lingering mysteries. While some secrets are finally exposed, giving viewers a sense of resolution, others are left deliberately unclear, prompting discussion and speculation. This balance is key to maintaining engagement, as it allows fans to celebrate the answers they received while remaining curious about what might happen next. The episode also reinforces recurring themes such as trust, deception, and moral choices, showing how these ideas shape the characters and influence the story. By tying the ending to the broader narrative arcs, the creators ensure that Episode 6 feels cohesive and meaningful, not just a standalone moment of drama. These elements combine to create an ending that resonates on both emotional and intellectual levels, giving viewers something to reflect on long after the episode concludes. Another important element of the conclusion is how it sets the stage for future episodes. While it provides closure in certain areas, it also plants seeds for upcoming conflicts and revelations. Characters are left at pivotal crossroads, with their next choices likely to drive the story in unexpected directions. Subtle visual cues, background details, and dialogue hints in the final moments all serve as foreshadowing, encouraging viewers to anticipate what might unfold. This forward-looking aspect of the ending demonstrates that Episode 6 is not just about resolving existing plot lines, but about preparing the narrative for the next phase of the story. Fans are left thinking about the consequences of the characters' actions, imagining different scenarios, and forming predictions, which keeps the engagement alive and strengthens the connection to the series. Finally, the emotional impact of the ending cannot be overstated. Episode 6 combines tension, surprise, and introspection in a way that resonates deeply with viewers. The mixture of suspense, revelation, and character reflection ensures that the episode leaves a lasting impression, making fans eager to discuss it and rewatch it for hidden details. By blending dramatic storytelling, layered character development, and carefully crafted foreshadowing, the conclusion serves as both a satisfying payoff and a teaser for what lies ahead. This careful crafting highlights the show's attention to detail and storytelling expertise, rewarding viewers who pay close attention to the narrative, symbolism, and subtle hints. Ultimately, Episode 6 demonstrates how an ending can be both emotionally powerful and intellectually engaging, creating anticipation for the next episodes while giving fans plenty to think about, analyze, and discuss. The conclusion is a testament to the creator's skill in balancing drama,